Hi guys, so welcome back from our sem break. I look for all of you having a great break, right? So before we move to our main point, let's introduce about myself. So my name is Nurul Kamarina Bita Azli. My metric number is 207379. I'm from Faculty of Human Ecology and taking Bachelor of Environment and Management.
Hi, hello. Hi, my name is Nasir Hazin bin Baruisha. My matrix number is 206012. I'm from School of Business and Economics and taking Bachelor in Accounting. Thank you.
Okay, hi, my name is Sarah Arena binti Shamsul Rahim. My metric number is 208217. I'm taking Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Community Health from Faculty of Medicine and Health Science.
And hi guys, my name is Zati Zulaikha bin Zulfatah. My metric number is 208332 and I'm currently taking Bachelor of Communication from Faculty of Modern Languages and Communication.
Hi guys, my name is Badullah bin Badri. My metric number is 206345. I'm taking Bachelor of Arts English Literature. I'm from Faculty of Modern Language and Communication.
Hello guys, my name is Alina Maisara binti Zalini. My metric number is 208178. I'm currently taking a Bachelor in Nutrition and Community Health from Faculty of Medicine and Health Science.
Alright, so I hope you guys doing well. And so our main agenda for today is after we do some of kind of discussion about the parody. So today is the main agenda. I will ask you guys three main questions. First, your own opinion about the parody. Second, are the parody useful in societies? And will society be offended by parodies? So let me bring my own opinions first. For generally, to me, parody is, I think parody is just a parody. Don't have any knowledgeable things in that parody. But after we do some kind of parody things of like video Bruno Mars, Fry Durian. Now I getting know that parody is also useful. And parody is just not to make other people laugh, but at the same time we giving people more general knowledge. So how about you? How about your opinions? Anyone? Zati, can you talk about your own opinions about parody?
Okay, thank you, Kama. Okay, well, honestly, at first I was not very happy with parodies as once I found a very offensive parodies, and I always said in my mind that parody is something that just ridiculous and it's just something that want to make us laugh. But after our next 2025 parody class, I found out that parody is so much more than that. As we already discussed, we have parody from songs, we have parody from movies, also we have parodies that for games and such things for educational purpose. So I find that parody is actually a very good way for us to pursue our creative sides in ourselves, and also we can see how people influence their creative sides in their products that they make in the parody. So I found parody is something that we should look into more, and if we have a negative maybe negative opinion at first, maybe we should open our mind and look into more a good parody instead of just blame the one that we watch. So how about you, Adinin?
In my opinion, I think, as we all know, parody is an imitation of style of other movie or maybe songs, right? So I think parody itself can make us more understand about a particular topic that we want to learn. Besides, I think a parody also easiest and a fun way to learn something difficult, such as when we can learn some knowledge from the video, the washer video about what happened in a medical school, right? So other than that, we can get from the parody also we can get many moral value and also positive impact from the parody, not just a funny movie or very parody, but also we get a moral value and also some knowledge too. So furthermore, from this parody, let's 2025, we can know how each other think and how each other perspective about the video. As example, maybe the way I understand the video is different from the Sarah understand it, how Sarah understand it. So I think from this I can get understanding of the video in another way. So that's all. Sarah, can you give your opinion?
Yeah, sure. So I agree with you, but for me, before this, I was never interested in like watching any parody because like the stereotype is just like copying the original product. So now that I joined this program, I can say that parody is pretty useful, and I think it is important to the society because, in my opinion, parody allows us to speak up our opinion to the society without being like aggressive or inappropriate, because parody is mostly being taken as a humor, but it also can give impactful messages to the society. So yeah, I think it is useful for the society. And what about you, Bai?
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Adnin, Kama, and Zaki for giving their own opinion. So before I start discussing how I feel about parody, I want to clarify that parody, like what Adnin said, parody is an imitation of style of song, movies, genres, and many more, but mostly parody based on humorously imitation. So at first, I'm side of Zati. I like watch parodies, but sometimes parodies contain an offensive content, just like rap battle, like Zati's suggested on the first day. And then after I joined our program and we watch a lot of parodies, and I find out that parodies bring a lot of moral values. And then I feel parodies can lighten someone's mood, like parodies giving the funny vibe, and Samsung can make someone's day with a funny content, because sometimes people seeks an entertainment to make them laugh, like one smile can spark like in our heart, right? So I think parody have the pros and cons. Sometimes certain of their parodies have that an offensive content, and certain of them have a good values. So it's up to us. We want to watch what kind of parodies. So that's my opinion. So how about you, Nasrul?
Uh, Thank you, Bai. First, can you all hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Bai, again. And I think I will agree with Rubai and all of you, especially Sarah, when she said that when she first watched parody, she didn't know the purpose, mainly the purpose of the parody. I wouldn't say that I hate watching parody because for me, mostly I spend my time on YouTube to watch video. That's where I usually spend my time. And most of the time I watch this kind of video that got recommended on YouTube. So as you can all see that example for the movie for the parody 2020 that we didn't thought that at first we thought that the parody some of us thought that the parody was about just for entertainment, doesn't have message behind it. But as we look into deeper into the parody, that even though if we didn't know that the producer of the parody intended or not, we feel like there's a message to be delivered in the parody. So in my opinion, that I think everything that we do in our work, or example doing parody, there's something that will be delivered to us. There's some message for us to take. So I think parody is most for for the group that we're doing right now, especially talking about parody, I think parody help deliver us some messages and help us see behind the making of that video. So that is my opinion. What about you guys? If you have any addition?
I think I also agree with you, Nasrul, because for all movie we watch, all of them have their own characteristic that makes them is not just a parody. It's an educational parody. So I think we all agree that parody is not just parody. So let's move to our next question. Are parody useful in societies? So let's hear I need opinions. So how about your opinion about this question?
I think that parody are very useful for our society because um, it can help others to express their creativity in making some videos and also a movie. So so everyone in this world can post their parody video in social media, and they also can gain their confidence if there's a lot of people watching their video, right? So beside if they post in the YouTube, they also can gain some income if they become a famous one day. Who's not, right? So other than that, I think parody is another way, or in the other words, a smooth way to critique other works, others' works, or give some improvement on their work, so that they can make an improvement about their video, I think. So I think that's all from me. So how about you, Ubay?
Thank you, Adnin, for your opinion. So I think parodies can be useful to the societies, but depend on the content of the parodies itself. But as what I said, parodies can also contain sexual words, very offensive words, and then. But I agree with Anin. They can spark the creativities, um, the creativity from the original work. So they take the original work and make um, their own idea. And then, as you can see throughout our chosen parodies, they have their own ideas and creativity about the content. Sometimes parodies bring a lot of moral value, even though parodies are funny. So it's balanced. We have funny parodies, but educational parodies. So, uh, so I can summarize that parodies can be useful to the societies, but depend on the content. That's all for my opinion. So, how about you, Sarah?
So, as I mentioned before, I would like to say that it is useful to be used by the community to voice out their opinion, and also to raise awareness on certain topics. As Ubay mentioned, it depends on the content. So, because that the fact that parody is an act of imitating the style of movies or songs and many more, that includes the artwork that is famous. Like if you do a parody of a famous art, like as we discussed before, the Maroon 5, the ones with the millions of views, and people are more likely to watch the parody, and that enables the community to hear what we are going to voice out our opinion, or the awareness that are um, wanted to be raised. And as Anin says, as we get many views on our video, we can gain confidence, and I think it is useful for the society to use it as a medium to communicate to each other. How about you, Zati?
Thank you, Sarah. So again, are parody useful for societies? I think parody is important because it is used not only to generate fake news, but also as an antidote for it. For parody to work, it needs to be distinguishable from fake news, and it so can be a joke from the real content. For example, I would like to take Let It Go from Frozen 1. The part when Elsa singing while walking through the mountain. At first, it might look like if we watch the movie, it looks kind of sad, and it's so for someone that have to be isolated, things like that. But when there's a parody of it, it's actually very funny, and is a fake, as you know, it's a humor from the real scene. So for me, I think it's a good ways for us to feel happy about the sad scene from the real movie. But somehow, there's a limit for everything. When the jokes from the parody is taken too far, too overboard, it might be offensive, as Ubay and Sarah have mentioned. So, which can be offensive and things like that. So, yes, parodies are useful, but at the same time, supposed to be a limit or a guideline where or when the parody should be. How about you, Nasrul?
Thank you, Zati. As Ubay and Sarah and Zati said, yes, parody can be useful for the society, but again, like Ubay said, it depends on the content. Sometimes that, like I mentioned before, sometimes that the maker of the parody didn't even know the message they're about to be delivered by them. So sometimes talking about the usefulness is again depends on the content, whether they are making it for good intention or bad intention. That is one thing that we need to be careful of. I think that's my opinion about the usefulness of parody in the society. What about you, Anin, or anyone?
Kama, I think you have an idea about it.
Well, I think I agree with all of your opinions because I also have seen my view. Parody is actually useful, but in a proper way. Like, like if the parody is for 13 and above, well, just make a parody for a 13 and above. So let's move to our last question for today. For the question is, will society be offended by parodies? So let's hear opinion from Ubay. So Ubay, how do you think about this question?
Thank you, Kama. So, the question is, will society be offended by parodies, right? So, well, it depends on someone. If they can't take they can't take the joke, and then they will think the parodies are offensive. Like, we watched the last our parody about the COVID-19. They went to the Walmart to buy the toilet paper. They also mentioned Kim Jong Un, right? So if someone thinks that offensive, they will be offended. But if someone that they are open minded and they can take the joke and just laugh at it, and they will they will think that as a comedy stand. So it depends on someone. So that's all from me. So how about you, Nasrul?
Uh, Talking about if someone get offended by watching parody, again, I think it depends on how people perceive it or how people see it. Like I think Ani mentioned before, like even us, some of us when reviewing the parody, we somehow thought differently about the parody and giving a different opinion. So I think like you guys say, like other on how people going to to be offended, it depends on the how people perceive it. Like if someone is not open-minded, or someone, or comparing to someone that open-minded, and there's a different result. I think in the community, especially for me, I think in Malaysia, some for me, I think some of us, for me, I think the community in Malaysia mostly mostly I can say close-minded, and I think that people need to change that mindset and be more open-minded, so they can they can enjoy something without judging it too early. So that is my opinion. What about Zati?
Thank you, Nasro. Then again, as I mentioned, my first experience with parody is not very good, as actually my first parody is a very offensive about our Prophet Nabi Muhammad SAW. So at that time, I was very shocked to see that kind of parody, and that's why I have a very bad mindset about it. So then again, how much is offended to someone is based on their personal opinions. For example, if maybe Muslim will feel offended with it, but maybe Christian, those that have a Christian as their religion might not be offended with the parody of Nabi Muhammad. It depends on personal opinions and on what we believe. So then again, it's just the same as Ubay and Rasul mentioned. Um, it can be offensive. It can be offensive based on the limits that they have. So for me, in Malaysia, at least, we should have a guideline on how parody should be, and maybe Malaysian media should have a guideline. For example, if there are any offensive parody, they should immediately have a law where they can sue those that make such parody. So then again, it's a power for us, power for the viewer to report on the offensive parody. So yes, parodies can be very offensive to societies. How about you, Adani?
I'm agree with you all, with Obai, Azati, and also Nasro. I think everyone has their own opinion about this, but for me, it is still okay to make whatever video or parody that they want, but as long as they do not touch on religious matter like Zati said before and sensitive issue that may cause public outrage. Other than that, if the parody maker did not do such as a face shaming or body shaming, for the real writer or author, I think it will be okay for us to do a parody or any other video. So it depends on what the parody, what the parody, what the how the parody maker do the parody, is the offensive or not, I think. So how about you, Gigi? How about you, Sarah?
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Okay, thank you, Anin. So, in my opinion, like, I agree with all of you. It depends on how people perceive the parody. So people can take it as a joke and people can be offended by it. So, okay, so it is important for creator to portray the intended message correctly. And as like Zati said, we should put a guideline to how we have to do the parody, and they should know how to make the parody appropriately, and so that it won't be offensive in any way people perceive it. So that's all from me.
Last, from my opinion, so I think I surely agree with all the opinion, because let me take example from the parody that we choose, like Harry Potter parody. Maybe from our view, like this additional parody, but if, I think others from the Potterhead, maybe it's really like, no, Harry Potter is just Harry Potter, is not a parody. So it depends on people how they view the parody is, and I think the creator also want to create the parody that can be accepted to society. So that's all the question that we have answered. So thank you for you guys for sharing your own opinion. So I hope you guys all in the help. So thank you and bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you,
joining for
everyone.
that week's
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Last
Bye.
meeting.
Bye. Bye. Bye.